Good morning, ladies and gentlemen from the club. My name's Vic Crennan, and I'm taking on the position of Chief Judge for our Show of Excellence this year, which will be held at the Belmont Rifle Range. Yeah, the Triumph Car Club are putting it on. And this video is to just instruct or give some people an idea of how we do our judging for said Show of Excellence. There's only 5 categories, it's not super hard, and you are judging your club members' cars, so you can be as critical or not. It's not a concours d'elegance. It's just a show of excellence. Most of you members always look after your vehicle, so we don't have to go to that stage. But it's a fairly simple process, and we're just going to run through it so everyone's on the same page. As the vehicles arrive, they will be handed an envelope with 5 scoring sheets. Now, it's the owner's responsibility to fill out the 5 scoring sheets with their name, vehicle information regarding model and kilometres, and that'll be handed to a runner later on to go back to the scoring centre. When it comes to scoring your own vehicle or judging your own vehicle, there's a 2-person team. So the owner of the vehicle would step aside and the other independent would judge that vehicle. And the same goes around, they come around to the other judge's car, because we'll all be judging our own cars at one point or another. So, and then the sheets will go back to the scoring centre and we can go from there with it. Yes, there's 5 sections to judge. We'll have interior, exterior, engine bay. We have boot, wheels and tyres, and then we have glass and regalia. They're the 5 sections. There's 2 judges per section, so we basically need 2 judges and maybe a couple of spares. It's not difficult, and everyone will have a good day, I hope. It's not hard work, it's just being on the ball. The first section will be interiors, and there's half a dozen things we look at. So you just go along, you open the doors, have a look at ceilings, or your hood linings, your dashes, for anything like that. In the seats, how well it's presented, whether it's clean. Floor mats, if they've got secondary floor mats on them, have they cleaned underneath? Is there any lint or anything under the seats? It all comes down to those sort of things. If you look at it and think, well, oh, looks clean, is it? One of the important parts of it is the fact that there's a bottom section on this sheet that shows preparation for show, and that shows the diligence of the vehicle's owner, just how well they prepared the vehicle. On the sheet it goes from 1, which is poor, to 7, which is excellent. I think most of our judging will be in the higher areas, but once again we have to be critical. We can't just walk around and give everyone 7s, because that just doesn't work. It just mucks up the whole situation. So we have to be critical to a point, but it's not difficult to have a good look. Is there lint under the seats, or they haven't vacuumed their seats correctly? Things like that, you know, you can be a little bit pedantic about and say, well, you know, they haven't quite done that. Now we come to one of the hardest parts to judges is exterior. There's a larger section in exterior. But when most of us see a vehicle that we like, it's how things fit and how things look on the vehicle. In this section, we'll look at, say, the bonnet condition, where it's got glazing from heat shields and stuff, or it's not fitting correctly into the corners. The grille and the kidney surrounds. Very important on a BMW is the fact that how the grille looks. We've all had conversations about the latest ones. The paint and how it's been polished, or it needs a cut and polish and stuff like that. These items will be discussed between the judges, and you make a decision on whether it's a 5 or a 3 or a 4, and you go from there with it. Does it look good for its age? And that sort of thing. Has it got the old supermarket scrapes and stuff on it? You talk about that, okay, that's the vehicle's age, maybe. Or is it the fact that the owner doesn't care about it? That all comes into how they look after their vehicle. The lights and all those sort of things. Are they glazed? or anything like that. Once again, it's discussed in the judging. The last section of that is the polish quality and added preparation. Have they gone above and beyond? And it's a discussion between the two judges as to the preparation and how it's been presented. Okay, our next section is wheels and boot. This is fairly simple. We've got to get down and have a bit of a look. With that, it's fairly simple on the sheet, front and rears. With most of the BMWs, the wheels, both sides, front and rear, are different sizes. Only in width, not in diameter. They've got 19s or 18s or 20s. But quite often the rear wheel width is wider. That's not a problem. The only thing is you have to make sure of, one, is the rim clean? Just externally. It doesn't have to be done on the inside of the spokes or anything like that. We only look at the exterior. And as people are travelling, when they get there, their wheels will be dusty. So we take that in consideration unless they're covered with 3 inches of mud. The presentation, we look for gutter rash or anything like that, or if they change the wheel and they've got chips in the wheel. I've got one there, which I'm not really happy about, but that happens. Make sure that the tyre brands are all the same. You know, if they're all Dunlops or Pirellis or Michelins, make sure they're all the same. And as I said before, the tyre sizes will be different front to rear. The other thing with this is we will not be looking for spare wheels or anything like that, because a lot of the newer BMWs do not carry spares. So we're not bringing that into the calculation. Once again, it's the preparation. Have they cleaned the exterior? Some will take their wheels off and wash the insides, spray their calipers. That's okay. It all comes into the preparation for the show. So once again, it's that number from 1 to 7 and how diligent they've been with how they prepared their vehicles. Okay, engine bays is the next category, and it comes down to basically how much dirt's in there, how clean they are. They clean, most of the guys, if they clean their car externally and internally, will do their engine bays. What we're looking for is basically how well they've presented it, whether it's been degreased and then lacquered. Given the age of this vehicle, for instance, we can see a few bits and pieces of the wiring is broken away. Thing's 30 years old. We understand that. This vehicle, because of its age, fairly accessible with everything you see. You can see your inner guards a lot better. You can look down and see the underfloor, the under engine covering to see if there's any oil and stuff down through there. With your water fittings, is there any leakage or anything like that? We look for the information stickers on the car, refrigeration, all those sort of things that are still there. The rocker covers, if you can see them, any oil seepage, you can pick that up. It's not hard. If they've degreased it, you won't see it. The inner guard walls, are they clean? No oil residual. Your bonnet liner, your heat protection here, this is fairly ancient. It's still intact, which is amazing. The newer ones aren't as thick as this and probably aren't as good. That's what we look at. Just make sure that there's, if anything's been added to it, does it look tidy and professional, or has it been dodgy brothers thrown in there? We don't do that. So we just look for those sort of things and judge accordingly. And once again, it's how well they've prepared. If they've done a good job on the interior, the exterior, the engine bay, 9 times out of 10 should be up to the same sort of standards. Okay, our next subject is club regalia and glazing. This is all your glass and your club stickers that you receive when you become a member. The glazing, it's internal and external, of course. Whether there's any chips in the seals or anything like that, all has to be judged. It's not a big section, it's only 1 to 3, but overall, you look at it, can you see inside out? When they have cleaned it, have they left cleaning haze on it? Once again, that's a discussion between the two judges. Comes back to your preparation. Once again, when you do your glazing judging, see if the windows are down and just check the top edge of where they clean. And quite often, if they used a certain glass cleaners, they leave a slight smear along there and they're not cleaned correctly. That's about it. With the club regalia as far as stickers and badges go. The newer members, because we are changing the club insignia, they are in the process of changing. Those that don't have them, I'm afraid we can't do much about it. The service books. The newer model vehicles don't have service books. They have the handbooks, which still should be left on the passenger seat so we can see that they're there. If your service book's there, if you're the pre-2000, roughly, 2010s, mine has a service book. So you just leave them there so we can see them, that they're there. As I said, with the club stickers and stuff, we'll use the older ones, judge on those. On the newer members that don't have them, they're in the process of coming. So please bear with us and we'll get them to you ASAP. Okay, so we've covered our 5 sections and it doesn't take long. We have 35 cars to do, so we still get time to go and look at everybody else's vehicle, and there'd be heaps of Matt at that show. I must reiterate that when you come across your own vehicle to judge, your assistant has to judge that vehicle on their own merits, on its own merits, on their own. Just step back, let them do it, because when you go to the next vehicle or 3 vehicles down, it could be their vehicle. You get the opportunity to do their vehicle on your own, and there shouldn't be any interaction as to, well, my car's better than your car. It's just on the judging of it, and go from there. Make it easy, don't make it hard or anything like that. If on the day you have any problems with any items that you're not sure about, please contact me either on the day or before the day, but you won't know what you're looking at until the day. I'll be there, I'll be judging vehicles. Just my phone will be on. If you have a problem, ring me. I'll get Gary to put the phone number up and we can go from there. If there's a drama, just please contact me. We don't want you standing there for an hour or don't know what to do, because you still have to enjoy the day itself. Okay? That's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching.